Hey Facebook, this is Coach Angela Carey, and I just wanted to jump on here quickly just to share with you a moment in my personal life, just to give you a snapshot of uh, what I do, and in fact, that I practice what I preach. And so, excuse me, I have no makeup, nothing. I'm actually quite comfortable, so I was not gonna get all dressed up for this, but I thought it was important for you to see. So I have been doing this for the past 2 years now, and I find it to be an amazing discipline. And that is every year, towards the end of the year, I do a little retreat for myself, a self-retreat. And for those of you who know me, you know I love retreats. Clearly, hope you're registered for the Inner Work Wellness Retreat in Boca next year. But I also believe in kind of a personal retreat, and that's a time for me to reflect on my year and really strategize and implement whatever plans I have for both my personal life and for my business. And I really started doing it for my business, obviously, when I started my coaching business, and then also just working with my business mentor. And she also does the same thing. She does it way longer than I do, and I hope to work towards that, but my budget is not there. But I think it's really important. And I share it with you because I think that you should do the same. And I'm challenging you to do the same. Before the year is out, and preferably before, the crazy holidays comes upon us and you're busy with family and friends, and then the next thing you know, you blink and it's 2022. Think about what things you want to work on. Reflect on the year 2021. What worked? What didn't work? It's kind of like your own personal hot wash session, things that we do in our social organizations and on our job. We have a hot wash session, right? So that's kind of a after report, reflection, a time for you to kind of recount your steps and figure out what the good things were and what the bad things were and the things that you need to improve on. And I'm a huge advocate of self-care, clearly. But a lot of us don't realize that self-care is also not comfortable at times. Self-care can include those wonderful things like the spa treatments and, just kind of getting away in a hotel room to just kind of chill and veg and just replenish yourself. But then the other thing to that is that self-care can also mean a deep reflection and introspection about what it is that you need to work on, where you missed the mark, so to speak, and how you're going to remedy that so that you don't repeat it again. Or if you've missed the mark and not accomplishing a goal of yours, that you circle back and figure out what happened. Or you circle back and deal with relationships that went awry because you were at fault or you weren't at fault, and maybe you have to deal with unforgiveness. So there's a plethora of things that involve self-care. And I know we like to focus on the self-care aspects that feel good, but there are a lot of times that it doesn't feel good. And so that is also what I do during this time of reflection in my little personal retreat. So I'm literally in a hotel room, and it doesn't even have to be far away. It can be local for those of you who want to try to do this. It can be a hotel right around the corner. And for me, the reason I actually have to go away is because I have 3 girls and they've got huge personalities. And even if I close my door and just say, okay, mommy's going to be busy for the next 5 hours, good and well, all the mothers can relate. I am not going to have 1 full hour of uninterrupted time unless I'm doing it at like midnight, right? And that's not self-care. So I have to literally go away. And my mom just happened to be up to visit me and help me out. And I took advantage of that. And then I also had some other business to take care of. And so it just worked out that this was the time that I was going to set aside to just do what I needed to do. And what I actually do is I divvy up my time. So I will dedicate a certain amount of time, or if I'm here for more than one day, I will do one day of just personal care, personal strategy. And that's where I'm working on me personally. So I go through, my personal life. How's my heart? How are the matters of my heart? How am I doing with my spiritual walk in terms of where I want to be? And then I also deal with my own personal finances. Now that I am a widow and raising my 3 girls on my own, I have to look at my finances a lot more strategically and with a lot more judgment, in terms of what I'm spending and where I'm going and what I want to do for the next year and the things that I want to be able to give my daughters. And so I go through my budget and I rehash things. And as many of you all know, I recently bought a home. And so that was a huge purchase. And then so many other things went on, of course, with a new home. And so I had a lot of expenses. And that whole process of buying a house on my own, again, I've done that before I got married, but doing it again, it was just a lot. And so a lot of little things got pushed to the side. And so I had literally stacks of little papers everywhere. And I would say to myself mentally, I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to get back to that. And so I brought all those little stacks of papers with me to the hotel. So I have them all, I had to go through all of them and make sure I was on top of things and categorize things, because I'm a huge planner. I like to label things and organize things. That's just how my dad's side of the family is. And so I had to literally sit down and do that. And so that way I could organize my thoughts, because as I always say in my family, and I tell clients, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And so I challenge you today. It's December 4th. You've got, 20 odd days left in the year. Take one day. It can be a Sunday. It can be whatever day. If you have the luxury to take a day off of work, then do that. You don't have to necessarily go away to a hotel like me. You can do it at your home when everybody's at school and your spouse or partner is at work and you have the house to yourself. I find that to be a bit difficult, because then I'll be sitting there doing laundry and cleaning and doing other things that the house may need, and then I don't dedicate that focused time. But if you have the discipline, try that, okay? But I highly encourage you to take some time and just strategize your life. Where do you want to be? The year 2021 is almost done. Did you accomplish things that you wanted to accomplish? Are you where you want to be? Where do you want to be this time next year? I had these same conversations with myself last year, and there were some certain things I wanted to accomplish, and I accomplished most of them, and then some things just did not work out. And so I'm going back and asking why, and what could I have done better, and what do I need to put into place so that it can actually come to pass. And that takes work and discipline. So I just encourage you, ladies, please don't let another year go by. Don't live life just kind of in a neutral position. Because when you live your life in a neutral position, you are literally telling the universe, hey, I have no direction. Whichever the wind blows, that's where I'm going to go, whether it's left, right, down, or up. And that is not good, okay? There is some purpose in your life. And if you don't know what it is, perhaps you need this time to kind of quiet yourself and figure what that is. And then for those of you who do know, you need to figure out what's holding you back. What's that gap? What's keeping you from that promise? What's keeping you from whatever it is from materializing? And I even think about my girls and what I want for my family. In the past, we would do vision boarding as a family. And what do we want? When I was married and my husband was alive. Well, now we're going to be doing a vision boarding session, me and my girls, and it's just going to be us. Because things have changed, right? Our family unit has changed. Our image has changed. What we present has changed, right? And so I encourage you to do that with your family, your loved ones. I think that's super important. Your life is ever changing, and you are dynamic, and your goals may change. Your convictions remain the same, but how you execute them should be flexible, because one thing that is constant in this life is change, and you need to be able to adapt. So I highly encourage you, before the year is out, this is your assignment, if you choose to accept it, is take some time and do a self-retreat. Sit here, go to a hotel room, just like I have my little laptop up and ready to go. I've got my little sticky notes. I've really been doing some work, and now I'm about to pivot to my business. But I really think it's important for you to do the same, because you have dreams and goals and vision, and neutral and mediocrity is the killer of greatness. And greatness doesn't have to be in shining lights and in front of millions of people. Greatness sometimes is just being obedient to your gift and your talent. I'm going to say that again. Greatness sometimes is just being obedient to your gifts and your talent. And a lot of you are suppressing it, and a lot of you don't even know how to execute it because you're not planning it. So plan, and that takes work. And that's when you sit down and you actually are intentionally setting time aside to plan it out. Because once you plan it out and you write the vision and you make it plain, then you can run with it, and then it will materialize. And then you'll see your dreams come before you. All right. So that's just my little 2-piece, 10-minute, I think 11 minute and 30-second piece for you. But I hope that this blesses you, and I really want you to actually take it to heart and do something with it. All right. So I am signing off to get back to work, so that I can see what I want to see in 2022. That's how it works, y'all. That's how it works. All right. Be blessed, and I will see you soon. Bye, ladies.